Friday, and on Sunday I had my total thyroidectomy. So that means that they removed my whole thyroid for this operation. So in this video I'm just going to explain to you what happened and now how I feel after the operation. So I went down to Sydney on Sunday. Everything happened pretty quickly. They don't usually operate in the hospital that I was at on a Sunday, but because my surgeon had some meetings and things coming up in the following month, he was working extra days on a Sunday to get through more patients. So I was the last operation of the day, and I wasn't like, before I waited, it was only probably 2 hours or something from when I arrived at the hospital, went through admissions, and then when they wheeled me down, like down to the operation room, like the theatre. So I was really, really relaxed. I wasn't nervous at all. I just really wanted to get it done. And everyone at the hospital, they were so kind. And as I was going past, all the nurses and everything, they'd all wave and be like, good luck, like everything's going to be fine. So that was a really nice touch. If you're in Australia, I did get operated on at the Sands in Sydney. So that's called the Seventh-day Adventist Hospital. It just had a really nice relaxed feeling there. I can't say anything bad about that hospital. So when I went down, they were just asking me all the normal questions like my name, my date of birth, and what operation I was having today. I had like a couple of forms and stuff to sign, just because my like going in had been so fast. I'd only seen the surgeon a week prior to getting the operation. So yeah, they wheeled me down. They like wrapped me in a warm blanket. I nearly fell asleep because it was just so like, I don't know, it was like my body kind of went into this like meditative state. It kind of knew it was coming up, and I could feel it just like going. Yeah, I was so relaxed. They hadn't given me anything yet, but just my body, I don't know, I guess it kind of knew. So they took me in. I met everyone. The anesthetist, I think he gave me, like, he did put something in my arm. He didn't tell me what he was doing, but I think they just do that to everyone, just like a little something to kind of really relax you before they wheel you into the theatre. So when I was in the theatre, I was looking around and like I wanted to see where I was. And yeah, they just put me on the bed that you get operated on. It was really, really tiny, and there's like a plank of wood that sits underneath your shoulder blade. So at this time I did have a pillow under my head. I guess they removed it when I'd fallen asleep, I don't know, but so yeah, your shoulder blades are on this wood which lifts up your neck, and then basically they gave me like the anesthetist came, and this is like probably the worst thing that's happened. I have, as you can see, like a really big bruise here, and that's just where they put the needle in to make me go to sleep. And yeah, I went to sleep, and then a couple of hours later I do remember vaguely waking up in recovery, and they were giving me blood tests, and they said, okay, it's time to go to the room, and I kind of remember saying okay. And yeah, I woke up in my room. My family was there. I was really groggy. I wasn't as like in as much pain or anything as I thought. I was quite surprised about that. But I was really, really sick from everything that they put into my body. So the like general anesthetic made me so sick. I couldn't stop vomiting, really. I couldn't look at anything. Like we couldn't look at the TV. I couldn't look at my phone when like Vadim and everyone was messaging me. I was like obviously still pretty out of it. And the nurses, they kept trying to make me take Panadol and make me take medicine because they didn't want the pain to get any worse. But I kept saying, really, like, it's not hurting, please. I don't want to take anything, because I just knew I was going to keep throwing it up. But it's their job. They had to keep giving it to me. And like I knew, I couldn't keep anything down. So probably for about 12 hours straight, I was just making myself sleep. But every time they'd come in and try and give me some medicine, I just couldn't hold it down. So the pain wasn't that bad. You do wake up and you have an ice pack on your neck to keep just the swelling and the bruising down. It mainly, like, where they removed the thyroid, that didn't really hurt, but for me, and even this week, my shoulders and like my back has been so stiff and sore. I still can't really move my neck like up. This is probably as high up as I can move it, just because the muscles here are really sore, and just obviously the nerves and everything. But yeah, so I couldn't eat anything for ages. So it probably was about 36 hours until I'd been able to keep down my first like drink, and that was just like one of those little apple juices they give you at the hospital. But I got discharged the next morning. My surgery was between like 1 and 5 p.m. That's the whole time. They wheeled me out of the room at 1. I was back in the room at 5. So I think my surgery went for about 2 hours, like all up. And yeah, so my family stayed with me for a little while, but then I just remember kind of falling asleep, and they were like, okay, like we'll go now. And then I slept, like, other than waking up to be sick, I slept a lot. They ended up having to give me 3 bags of like the fluid because I hadn't had fluids in about 36 hours. So the next morning the surgeon came around, said everything was good and that I could go home. I took my medication, and like I said, I had my apple juice, and then they packed me up and I went home. That day, it took probably about 2 days for the general anesthetic to kind of wear off through my body, and I could feel like everything had stopped. Like my digestion wasn't working, my hormones obviously weren't working anymore. Just I could feel my body had just gone and just wasn't working anymore. So the main thing that I've been doing is trying to drink so much water because I'm so dehydrated. And yeah, I'm drinking like as many liters as I can just to flush everything out. And I could eat soft foods, but I have mainly just been having smoothies and soups. Just because it does kind of hurt to swallow, but I did have some mashed vegetables and that was easy to eat as well. Yeah, so honestly, mainly the pain is just from my muscles. I've just been trying to, like, I have a massage machine here, and I've just been like kneading it out every day and just putting heat packs on it, because that is for me the most painful part about this whole thing. I could talk normally straight away. My family couldn't believe like how, like, they thought I was going to look terrible, and I mean, it didn't look the best, but I didn't look as bad as they thought. And same, I was really surprised with how like easy and fast the recovery is after the operation. What else can I tell you? Yeah, so for the first couple of days, even now still, I am pretty like lightheaded and dizzy. So I am spending this week just lying down and yeah, just taking it easy. And the thing for me though that was the weirdest that I did not know was going to happen was I am quite deficient in calcium. This is apparently totally normal when you do have your thyroid removed. But so I am on 6 calcium supplements a day. The night that I got home, I took my tablets. My whole arm just went numb and like tingly, and then it just like started to spasm and just cramped and was like stuck in this position like this. And every day this has been happening. My hands just get stuck and I can't move them, and now my feet are as well. They kind of like start twitching and then just like cramp up. So that means that you are deficient in calcium, which could also mean that you are deficient in vitamin D, because vitamin D is what helps you absorb the calcium. So I did have some tests about that, and my GP and my surgeon, we had to call him because he said if that happens to call him. So we had to speak to him, and he just said, up your dosage and yeah, just see how you go. But I will be seeing him on Monday, and I probably just will have to take the calcium tablets for a while until everything kind of sorts itself out. Let me think, what else can I tell you? So I've just been giving myself like these massages and just kind of still doing all the exercises that they told me to do, and just really taking it easy. And I haven't had much of an appetite, especially going from having Graves' disease where you eat everything and anything to barely eating anything. I'm just eating like, some vegetable soups that my mum made for me before I went in, and just my normal smoothies. And so much water, so much water. I think it is important to drink as much as you can, because you do need to flush everything out of your body. I haven't been taking any, or for the first 2 days, simply because I had the worst headache. I thought it was a migraine, but now I think it's just a combination of the general anesthetic and the calcium. I probably did have a headache, but it just really messed up my body. I'm really sensitive, so having anything in my body really it really messes me around. But honestly, I can tell you that I'm really happy that I had it done. I can already feel, even though I don't feel like 100% yet, I feel already better from last week, even when I had Graves' disease. How I'm feeling now is like a different type of sick to how I felt last week. I have, yeah, I don't know, like I don't have my tremors anymore. I did for a couple of days simply because of the anesthetic that they gave me, but yep, I don't have tremors. I'm not starving all the time. Even when I wake up, my face isn't puffy anymore. My skin has already cleared up. I mean, if you've been watching my videos, you would have seen a couple back. I had this awful acne, and that's all gone. So that's good. A big thing that people always ask me is, did I put on weight with Graves' disease? And the answer is yes now, because I didn't for 3 years, and then after I relapsed and I did have, like, I had the most medication I'd ever been on. I put on 10 kilos in about 2 months. Yeah, so I did lose 3 kilos this week, simply because I'm just not eating so much, and I guess my body is, yeah, just went through like a pretty stressful thing, so it's just using up, yeah, just trying to burn energy from somewhere. I honestly can tell you now that if you're going into this and you're feeling stressed, it's perfectly normal to feel that way, but I can't tell you enough how like happy I am that I had this. I already feel better, and it's not as scary as you may think. And the pain, if you're worried about the pain, it's not that painful. Like, it's really not. Like, this whole situation here barely hurts at all. If I could rate it out of 10, I think when I first came out of surgery, just everything going on, I would probably say 8. But then after that, it probably went down to a 6. And now I would say it's like a 2. Our bodies are amazing, and their ability to heal after having an organ removed is just incredible. I have so much awe now for the human body, even more so than I did before. But honestly, I can't tell you enough. It's okay. It's really, like, I was really lucky with my experience, and everyone that I've spoken to have said, like, it's honestly going to be the best thing for you. You're not going to even know yourself. So I'm really looking forward to healing a bit more, and yeah, I'll keep vlogging and like letting you guys know how everything goes. So now I have hypothyroidism, so now I have this whole world that I've got to figure out. But yeah, so I'm going to finish this video here because I've been sitting out for about 15 minutes now, and I'm starting to feel a bit lightheaded, so I'm going to go lie down. But I hope this kind of helps. I will have some more videos on this coming up, but yeah, I don't know. Thanks for watching, and take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye!